Hello and welcome to Poland and Krakow for the International Canoe Federation's second Slalom World Cup of the 2015 season. 303 paddlers from 41 nations have been competing on the Krakow Canoe Slalom course, the Polish National Canoe Centre of course, and this is the first time there's ever been a World Cup here. Over the weekend, 5 classes have taken place, and today we're going to be looking back over the best of the action. I'm Matthew Layton, so sit back and enjoy the best paddlers in the world on this artificial course, built in 2003, 220 metres long and fed from the dam. Well, let's look at the first event of the day, and it's the Olympic discipline, the C1 men. These 10 athletes you can see on the screen are the 10 that have gone through the heats, they've gone through the finals, and now they're on course. David Florence, number 1 because he's the world's top athlete according to the ranking systems. He's Scottish, competing for Great Britain, and is a double world champion in C1 and C2. He's known for someone who is completely dedicated to sport in training and competition and normally ends up in the podium. Last week in Prague, he came 3rd. As you can see, the gates are negotiated in a downward if they're green and white and upward if they're red and white. If you touch a gate, like he's just done there on gate number 17, there's a 2-second penalty. If you're unlucky enough to be judged by the judging team to actually miss a gate altogether, that's a 50-second penalty. As you can see today, we're not looking at the whole run, but we're looking at the highlights. It's a very technical course. No one will finish the course as fast as David Florence has unlimited sources of motivation and energy. You can see on the slow-mo there, he just touches gate number 17, but still an extraordinary time. Next up, Matej Beneš from Slovakia. Really difficult to be in the Slovakian team. You're against Liptovsky and Martican. Martican, by the way, didn't make the final today. Beneš known for his free style, great balance, and he's 2 seconds up at the split. Look at the speed he goes in and out of the up and goes forward on a gate 8. David Lawrence in your picture, watching with admiration. That's how to do it. Leave yourself space so you don't touch the gate and use the power, taking the option to spin around gate 14. One of the characteristics of this course is you have to spin many, many times. Lots of offsets in the actual situation. And here he goes, correctly out, goes back into the main flow and just powers over the line. This is a really, really impressive run. Goes into first place with an extraordinary time. Matt has been having a great beginning to the season, has been winning some of the world ranking events. Benny Savcek from Slovenia, arguably the top paddler over the last 9 months. Came 2nd in the world and has won some local competitions as well. He's always been known as his fast, dramatic style, but last week surprised in Prague when he went free. Came 2nd, by the way. Took no penalties there. As you can see, he decided to spin round gate number 8. He's from Tachin in Slovenia and won his race there last season, which gave him enormous amounts of pleasure. That's the idea. You have to get the whole of your head and part of your boat through the gate. Back across, skimming across the water as quickly as he can to set himself for the last upstream 18. It's been a really difficult last section here. Offset gates have been causing all sorts of problems, but not for Benny as he comes across the line. And that puts him in 3rd place. A little bit disappointed because he knows he's made a couple of errors. Look at the concentration on there. Confirmation of the result. Matej Beneš takes gold for Slovakia. David Florence, silver for Great Britain. And Benjamin Savcek, bronze for Slovenia. Moving on from the men to the women, it's the same size boats, it's the same course, it's the same conditions, but technically they have big challenges because don't have quite the strength. Vicky Dobrodowska, great example of the TIP. What's the TIP? It's the Talent Identification Program set up by the ICF, the International Canoe Federation, to support athletes that perhaps couldn't support themselves. She's been in this program for 5 years and she's really coming forward. As all athletes, the goal is to aim for 2020 when canoe singles for women will be introduced. Switching here, as you see with the women, switch much more than the men. They really have to use the flow of the water. Dropping maybe a little bit low, but deciding to take a low-risk strategy, coming back round the outside, and she's sprinting over the line. There's clear delight there. There's a switch. Takes amazing coordination. Well, here's a familiar face to all paddle sport supporters, be it in a kayak or a canoe. Even on sprint, by the way, she's fast. It's 21-year-old Jess Fox from Australia. By the way, little sister Naomi made her World Cup debut and also made it through to the final. Jess, look at that, 6.5 seconds up at the split. She just has complete control of the boat. Switching again. Quick as she can. The great thing about Jess is she really uses the power of the water. Whoops, she's taken out gate 13 there. Skimming across, deliberately spinning on 14 and coming away nicely. If you can see the gates, the actual poles are hung minimum 20 centimetres above the surge. It gives the girls 20 centimetres above the height of the surge. She's taken out another gate, but she's going extremely fast. Look at that, 6-second penalties and still 8 seconds up. Of course, Jess is the reigning world champion in this discipline. And K1, by the way. Kimberly Woods from Great Britain had a good trial. She's in the K1 and the C1. Actually messed things up last season in 2014, so didn't make the A team for the World Championships, but she's certainly a talent. Has been on the podium for the last 3 years. She's still only 19 years old. She's taken out both poles there. That's only a 2-second penalty. The idea is you don't deliberately displace them, and clearly that wasn't the case there. By the way, she's the European champion at C1, so certainly has the capacity to put down a fast, clean run. Moving in, and arguably half a second left there, but skims across with great speed. Goes for the spin, having to do a little bit of wobbling around, but still gets through it. 17 in and out with the classic stroke. And here she comes over the line. It's going to be quite close. She's delighted, look at that, and yeah, the scream goes up as well. Great Britain are really starting to have good strength in depth. As well, of course, Australia had 3 girls in the final. Confirmation of the result: Jess Fox, gold for Australia. Kim Woods, silver for Great Britain. And Victoria Dobrodowska, Ukraine, takes the bronze.
The semi-final was not a very good run for me, but the final I found my pace and I found some better lines than in the semi-final, and I fixed gate 8. And unfortunately had a few touches, but it was quite a fast time, and I'm really happy to take the win and happy to see my sister racing and 3 Australians in the final as well, and super excited for Vika as well, 3rd place.
What do you enjoy most about training?
I love to be in the nature, and I try to do all my workouts in the nature, so I'm really enjoying training for myself.
It's the ability to get out there and do something different every time you get on the water.
I think the never-ending learning opportunities. There's so much to slalom that you just get to constantly learn new things.
Getting the vomit coming up in the end of the session, I think, is the best bit.
Eskimos.
The lactic workouts and just doing loops where you're just working so hard and it never feels like it's going to finish.
I like that I can test out my limits, and I can see exactly where my limits are, and I can push my limits further. This is what I like about training.
I like most about training to be finished afterwards.
I like most that you can challenge yourself and you can try different things every day and go fast and pedal. That's just what I like.
Switching from the canoes to the kayaks, and this is a really top international field with 2 Poles going last. It shows that there is local dominance. Vavra Hadilek, one of the real characters of this sport, 28 years old, from the Czech Republic, won the Olympic silver medal in London, was the world champion in 2013 in Prague. By the way, with some excellent videos. He's 0.6 seconds up. And he doesn't hold back. He really puts on a charge, but has the skill to pull it off as well. Look at the determination and focus on his face. In and out, very, very quickly. And if you can study the design work on his boat, it's an absolute joy to see. Well, he's taken a 2-second penalty there. Lightning quick around 17. We'll try and get the power in. Again, lightning quick round 18, into the fast flow of the water. 2 more gates to negotiate, and he's through, really putting it forward quickly. Well, there's joy and maybe slight regret for hitting a gate where he didn't need to. Next up is a flyer from France. It's Mathieu Biazizou, 23 years old, and he was part of the threesome who actually were first, second and third in the Worlds last year. He came third last year. Oh, he's totally taken out gate number 4, but that hopefully doesn't matter. It's early in, there's plenty of time to catch up. Very quick on the up 7, needs to slide across, spin round as most of the athletes do on gate number 8. In and out there, 13, skims across, spins again. As we said, this is a real spinning situation. The course is artificial, it's quite wide and there's real flows, and the actual course designers, Phil Smolan, has really tested the athletes to the limit. Sprints over the course, and he's only 0.46 seconds out and knows that he could have done better. And now on to Martin Halsin from Slovakia. Slovakia obviously have a huge reputation in the canoes, but also this man can move, 24-year-old. Bit of a long section here. It's flat out under the bridge number 5, and we catch him a little bit later on upstream number 7. Moves, spins the boat round. This is all pre-calculated, by the way. Has to duck and dive a little bit, but still comes through. Speeds over the water challenge, skims again, and that's another deliberate spin. Let's see him stay over the last section of the course. He's yet to medal in the World Cup, so if he does, this is going to be really exceptional. Taking a fine line, he's taking the risk to the maximum, in and out. How's he going to do it? Well, that is a very good time. 0.12 of a second behind Vavra. Confirmation of the results. Vavra Hadilek for the Czech Republic takes gold. Martin Halsin for Slovakia takes silver, and Mathieu Biazizou takes the bronze for France.
I was alright. I reckon. I had a solid start to the final run, and yeah, all the way through I was managing to keep it clean. And well, I had a touch at the bottom, but this course is pretty tricky with the water. It's not really stable, so yeah, I was confident enough to go repeat the run from semi-final, and I went 2 seconds faster, so I'm very happy for that.
I'm Fiona Penny. I'm a member of the Great Britain team in the kayak women's category. I was European champion in 2013 and I got a silver medal at the World Championships in 2014. My mum got me into canoeing when I was very young. She was a sprint paddler, and then she basically got me in a boat when I was a few months old, and then started teaching me when I was 5 or 6. And then the canoe club that I joined, they were doing predominantly slalom at the time, and that's how I got into slalom. I've been canoeing for 23 years now, and it's quite a long time. I've been on the circuit, I suppose, since my first junior pre-World Championships in '97. A few things have changed since I started slalom. Yeah, the boats have got shorter. They were 4 meters long, now they're 3.5 meters long. Courses have definitely got shorter. I can remember doing much longer courses. you had to be much fitter. And the number of gates in the course there's fewer of them. In the future, I guess the sport could be more exciting still, like with harder courses, more crunch moves, shorter courses where it's really like faster. Everything has to go down on that run like really quickly. It's coming there. It's coming to that in the men's category, I suppose, where the men are really pushing it hard all the way down the course. I'd really like to get to Rio 2016. I went to Beijing and I missed out on the spot in 2012. I'm a bit of a comeback kid that year. Like 3 weeks after Olympic selection, I won a bronze medal at the European Championships, and then the next year I was the European champion. So I know I'm capable of good things, and yeah, we have selection at the end of this year, and it's a 3-race selection series over 3 days, and it'll all be down to that weekend.
Well, unfortunately, Fiona Penny didn't quite make it to the final today, but these are the 10 women who have. And remember, they're going in the reverse order of the fastest times in the semi-finals. We have world champions, ex-world champion, and here we have a European champion, and also the bronze medalist from the Olympic Games in London, 32-year-old Mylène Churot. Very at home on the Spanish courses, but also at home in pretty much any water, to be honest. She had a baby in 2013, has come back to true form. As you can see, the speed, and she knows exactly where to put her boat at all times. Really high paddle rate, spins round and back in the flow. Oh, that's left it a bit tight. There's one thing taking a fine line, there's another putting it in the hands of the judges. A little bit stuck on 14 if being really critical, but she's still 4.5 seconds up. Nicely in. Now she's having a good run, she decides to reduce the risk a little bit. Probably a wise tactic. And here she comes over the line. Well, initially takes first place, but she knows she could have done better. Next up, it's Karina Kunle, a Connie to her friends from Austria. Really competitive scene in Austria. There's 4 girls vouching for the 3 positions that go in the world. With coming in the finals today, she's booked herself a position. Look at the strength and the speed. Probably one of the strongest athletes over the flat here. And she's a double world champion. Also an Olympian. Very quick, planned move there, cutting down the risk to the minimum on gate number 8. Dives over the fall, needs to speed across. Ooh, slightly stuck, having to duck and dive a little bit. In and out of 17. Setting herself up nicely for 18. Is she going to take it tight? No, she takes the low risk approach. Needs to speed over the last few meters. It's deceptively long, the last few meters. Well, mixed emotions there. Next up, Ricarda Funk from Germany has put in some storming performances in the last couple of years. She's known for always attacking every single gate. As you can see, she's very light but very strong, just the boat sitting right on top of the water. Slightly down at the split. And look at the German contingent following her down the river all the way. Completely in control, knows what she's doing with every single paddle stroke. Oh, not that one perhaps. Takes out the gate. Only 2 seconds penalties there, which can be made up. Now that's probably the best we've seen. Gate number 14. And also very impressive on upstream 17. Last upstream to negotiate. Again, leaving herself plenty of space. Through the last stagger, sprinting over the line. Well, she knows she's left something out there. Confirmation of the result. Mylène Churot takes the gold for Spain, Karina Kunle silver for Austria, and Ricarda Funk takes the bronze for Germany.
For me on Friday, the way was very easy. and today more difficult. The semi-final was hard. I wanted to be on the final, but it was very hard, so I passed to the final. Yeah, very, very close to be out. And once in the final, I went to have fun and trying to be fast. I have also problems in the same place of the semi-final, but the rest of the course was okay. So again, I am on the top. I'm very happy and very, very happy.
And now it's the final of the C2. All sorts of problems in the semi-final. Only one team here, Camporese and Ferrari, managed to go clean. Let's see what the best athletes can do here. And we have a French pair, probably not well known to the public, Pierre-Antoine Tillard and Edwin de Rouet, both 27 years old. In the 2012 Olympic trials for France, they were only the 6th pair. It shows just the great strength and depth. Last year their best result was coming 8th in Tachin. But all pairs have really struggled. They've dropped a little bit low perhaps. And this, well, backing through, that's a good tactic, that's a good move and executed really perfectly. Here they come. You're allowed to punt off the wall if you need to. Again, keeping clean. This is looking impressive. And Klaus Pesch, who one would expect to win in the final, they actually didn't make it this time. They acknowledged themselves. Here they come. Gate number 17. It's almost the end of the course. This is a really, really good low-risk run. The last up to negotiate. Here they go. Yes, they've done it. Just sprint over the line. Well, that's enough to put them in provisional first place. And to go through this at full speed without taking any penalties. Berling and Becker from Germany, Robert and Thomas. They're the European champions, by the way. Illness put them out of the game last year, but they have been pretty much the top of the Germans for the last 4 or 5 years now. Perfect complementarity. 3 Germans, by the way, in the finals this weekend, as well as 3 Czech boats. Just look at the coordination, understanding. They spend hours every day in the boat together, that's why. Punts off the wall, which of course you're allowed to do. Taking probably the best spin of the day so far. Up 17, another punt off the line. Well, they've negotiated the upstreams as good as anyone today. Bit of a slalom over, and it's sprint all the way to the line. Well, they're not ecstatic, but they know they've put in a good, solid run. Jonas Kasper, Marek Sindler. They're known for being very dynamic, very aggressive. It either passes or it doesn't. Let's see what happens today. Setting themselves up nicely for gate number 7. And they're half a second up on the split. Maybe lost half a second there, so they're probably back to even. But that's really impressive move. Coming in the off split. 9 and 10, able to take them on forward. Again, saving some time. Complete coordination there. It's looking a good run. In and out of 13 and 14 very quickly. on the split screen. You can see the close and the far away images to really get a good perspective of what they're doing. Setting themselves wide, so keeping the risk low. And again, another run without any penalty points, sprinting over the line. Hey, they've made it. What a great victory. Confirmation of the results. Kasper Sindler take gold for the Czech Republic. Berling Becker silver for Germany, and Tia and Leroux France take bronze medal. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much, Poland. A great event. More events to come up soon. I'm Matthew Layton. Thanks for watching.